Howdy folks, Charlie with Typewriter Justice here, and I'm just going to show you a little trick for removing type bars. Some variation of this will work on just about any machine. What I'm looking at right here is a type bar that was bent really badly. All of these were bent really badly. Well, not all of them, but probably 6 or 7 different sets of them were bent extremely badly. And or rather bent very well, because man, they were boogered. And as you can see, this one still is hanging, and I've already gotten it working a whole lot better than it was. But there's only so much that you can do with rough forming tools, right? With well, like this and this sort of forming tool, or duckbill pliers, because use a lot of those. These crazy types of pliers, very handy for forming metal. And you can form something like this, but if it's been bent enough, then you're never gonna get it back to 100% true. And so I got to take this out, long story short, and I'm going to show you how to do this. And some variation of this will remain true for pretty much any typewriter. So these all operate on a pivot, right? And there's going to be one U-shaped ring that's going to sit down inside there. It's going to be riding about like that down inside there, that all of these hinge off of. And you can normally see it sticking out of the top of the type bar segment. There's almost always going to be some sort of little clip or keeper there to hold this U-bar pivot type thing in place. And so you got to get those taken off of there. And then you got to get you one of these little red straws, like comes on the WD-40 or the aerosol can of your choice. So that's what we're going to use. You're also going to need some tape, and show you why right now. So I got to change that Z, right? I got to take it out and polish it. So the first thing I want to do is set the depth of my replacement hinge here, which is what my red straw is going to be serving to do. So I'm going to mark it how far it needs to be. So now I got my little mark on there. And I'm going to use my tape to create a little boundary, a depth boundary, if you will, to where this straw can't go any deeper than it's supposed to, specifically for that Z key. That's the one we're trying to get out. All right. So now, I'm going to push down on this, and it's going to go popping out the other side. And as I push, it's going to be jumping inside and become a temporary hinge on all of these guys. Man, I should have picked a smaller straw. Smaller straws work better, just for the record. All right, so now I'm at the proper depth, and see this thing poked out the other side there. So I'm gonna back my straw out just a little bit, and there's that type bar. And I can see down in the cracks there, the slots on the segment, and see that my straw is all the way through. And really, you can even just push it back like that. And now the straw is completely out, and so is our type bar. And you got to look at what type of linkage you have as well, because a lot of machines will have different linkages, and some of them are more difficult to get back onto the type bar than others. Thankfully, Hermes are fairly sedate in this regard. And if you've got a captive spring hook, then you'll have absolutely no problem putting them back on. So there's my treble type bar, and now I'm just going to sand it down, take a little bit of width off of it, and get her put back in. So anyway, that's my little WD-40 straw technique for removing type bars. Hope this helps somebody. Later.